Hey guys, welcome to Health Heart. So before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, also subscribe to my channel. In this video, I will be discussing 10 signs your heartbreak is something more serious. Breakups can be tough. Even if you're glad to be out of the relationship, major life changes like dealing with the end of a relationship can be rife with emotional turmoil. And understanding when your heartbreak is becoming something more serious can help you start healing. Heartbreak looks different on everyone because it's a form of grief, says licensed mental health counselor Brennan C. Moloney, LMHC. You're grieving the loss of not only a partner, but your dreams for a future that included that person, she explains. And there's a reason that grief is so agonizing. It can literally cause emotional and physical pain, says licensed counselor Erin Parisi, LMHC, CAP. Protective factors like emotional support systems, access to medical care, spiritual beliefs, and employment stability can make healing from heartbreak easier, Parisi says. But if you're missing some of those supports, coping can be all the more difficult. While any symptom that is particularly debilitating or long-lasting can be a reason to seek help, mental health professionals agree that there are particular indicators that your heartbreak is turning into more serious. Here are 11 signs your relationship grief is more than it seems, according to experts. 1. You feel physically. It's totally normal to feel heartbreak physically as your body responds to the stress of a breakup and the resulting cortisol hormone spike, says Parisi. This overwhelming distress often causes physical symptoms like nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, heartburn, headache, low energy, low appetite, insomnia, hypersomnia, and increased appetite, she tells Bustle. But if the feelings in your body keep sticking around or getting worse, it might be a sign that you need more help than you're receiving, adds licensed clinical social worker Teresa Solomita. This could look like getting sick easily or developing a rash or headaches, she explains. Your physical and mental health are inextricably linked, so it's important to take care of them both, especially in times when you need resiliency most. 2. You can't think about anything else. It makes sense for your ex to be running through your mind, but when they're genuinely all you can think about, Maloney says it's time to reassess. If you start to feel as though life isn't worth living without the other person, that's a sign you could use some professional support, she tells Bustle. Similarly, if you start to feel like you're worthless or unlovable after a breakup, that indicates your heartbreak is moving into territory best navigated with help. Even once you've found a healthy balance, you may still experience some of the symptoms of heartbreak, but it should start to ease up, says Solomita. You may still think of your ex over time, but you start to have fun again, and the memory of the relationship begins to fade, she says. 3. You're avoiding your friends. Maintaining friendships in the wake of a major breakup can be unbelievably difficult. Although they're some of the most important people in your life, friends are not trained professionals and may not know how to best support you. But even if they're not giving you what you need, avoiding your friends is still not the best bet since isolation can exacerbate your heartbreak symptoms, says Maloney. Even if your friends are there for you to lean on, it can still be beneficial to get outside support, says Parisi. If your friends are sick of hearing about it and you're feeling stuck, it's time to seek professional help, she says. Your friends can't solve everything, after all, so a neutral third party could help you get through your heartbreak with a little more ease. 4. You feel numb at work. One of the worst feelings after a breakup is having to go to the office knowing you won't be able to concentrate on work. But if that numb at work feeling just won't go away, Solomita says it's time to take note. When someone is experiencing heartbreak, the pain can be so great that it feels intolerable and can color your entire life, Solomita says. Check in with yourself if you behave robotically or stop feeling passionate about your work. Another red flag is skipping work altogether or struggling to keep a job, adds sexologist Jess O'Reilly. PhD, if your heartbreak has affected your ability to work to that extent, it's time to look for professional support. 5. You've lost your sense of motivation. It can be tough to get back on your feet after having your heart broken. But if you've lost the motivation to work, keep up with regular habits, or just go through your day as usual, That's a signal your heartbreak is taking a serious toll, says O'Reilly. If that's the case, seeking professional support can help you put the pieces back together and carry on with the things you care about. 6. You're not taking care of your needs. Taking care of yourself is always essential, but it's especially poignant when you're restructuring your life post-breakup. And during periods of grief, even the most boring self-care can be vital. If you find yourself unable to go through the motions of showering, combing your hair, or going outside, that's a sign your heartbreak is headed to problem territory, says clinical psychologist Joshua Kloppel, PhD. If the heartbreak is so intense that after 2 or so weeks we don't feel like working or going to school, we have lost interest in life around us. We feel that we literally can't go on or don't want to go on with life. Then seeing a professional is essential, he tells Bustle. 7. You're not having fun anymore. Though it can be more difficult to have fun when you're down, if you've started to notice that you feel unable to enjoy things at all anymore, it might be a sign that you need outside support to help you feel better, says Solomita. Don't judge this feeling though. If you're wondering, what does heartbreak feel like? Know that it can be literally painful. We feel emotional pain in the same part of our brain that we feel physical pain, she tells Bustle. It can create a barrier to experiencing the things we used to love. 8. You're struggling to build a new routine. Breakups aren't only hard because you're grieving your partner. They're also difficult because you're grieving the routines you share together, says O'Reilly. Where you could once rely on your partner to cook dinner every night, you may have to fend for yourself food-wise now. Or perhaps you counted on yourself as your adventure buddy on the weekends, but now struggle to enjoy your days off without them in the picture. Luckily, routines are replaceable, she says. But if you're having trouble overcoming sadness about old routines or are struggling to devise a new one, mental health professionals can help you with that. You don't have to be in an absolute impasse to reach out for help, O'Reilly says. You can do it on day 1. 9. You're struggling with boundaries. Finding closure and setting boundaries after a breakup are 2 of the hardest things. But if your night of Instagram creeping turns into a habit that you can't break, it might be time to check in with yourself. If you're obsessing about the person, stalking them via social media or in real life, or structure your life around bumping into them or trying to win them back, it might be time for help, Parisi says. Once you do get help, you can measure your progress as you set healthier boundaries for yourself, she adds. Maybe you're no longer checking social media obsessively or don't text them as often. These can all be signs that you're turning a corner. 10. You're acting out. Sometimes social media brings out the worst in people during sensitive times. And if you notice that keeping tabs on your ex's social media is prompting you to behave in ways you ordinarily wouldn't, like publishing passive-aggressive posts, that could be a sign your feelings about the breakup are only fueling anger and resentment, says O'Reilly. While this doesn't mean you have to block them forever, it might be a sign that you should talk to someone to get to the bottom of your feelings and develop healthier emotional outlets. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching.